Good morning, students. Blessings of grace and peace be with you today and every day. Have a nice day. Welcome to English class. Most important things in your life. Some people like to eat biryani, ice cream, fish fry, cool drinks, fresh juice. Whatever we need, water to produce everything. We can't produce water in any way, lab or by any industry. So, use water sensibly. Do you like to play in the water? Yes, obviously. Everyone likes to play in the water. Have you ever been to a river? Yes. Some of you have been to a river. Some of you have not been to a river. That's okay. Do you think rivers have life like human being? Yes. I think rivers have life like human being. Do you agree with me? Can you describe the beauty of the river you have seen? The river is shallow and the water is clear. Always look like a silver blade or silver ribbon. It looks beautiful. Can you guess what topic we are going to learn? Yes. Unit 5, poem The River, Caroline and Bowls. Let us discuss about the author, Caroline and Bowles. 1786 to 1854 was an English poet and the wife of Robert Southey, the poet laureate of Britain. She was a poet of great merit and produced some of the best work at the threshold of the Victorian era. She wrote various other works, including The Little Ladybird, Chapter on Churchjoy, and Tales of the Factories. Let's see the theme of the poem. The poet compares rivers to different stages of human life. Let's see the hard words and its meanings for better understanding. Foliage, a cluster of leaves, flowers, and branches. Glancing, touching or hitting something lightly from the side without causing much damage. Swelling, becoming greater in intensity or volume. Rose banks, river banks where roses appear along. Impetuous, acting quickly and without thought or care. Tending, going in a particular way. Headlong, with the head first and the rest of the body following. Had, in the past, the third person singular form of the word have. Eternity, life continuing without end after death. Let's get into the poem. This is short and interesting poem. I will read the poem, please be attentive. The river, Caroline and Bowles. River, river, little river, bright you sparkle on your way, over the yellow pebbles dancing, through the flowers and foliage glancing, like a child at play. River, river, swelling river, on you rush through rough and smooth, louder, faster, rolling, leaping, over rocks, by rose banks, sweeping like impetuous youth. River, river, brimming river, broad and deep, and still as time, seeming still yet still in motion, tending onward to the ocean, just like mortal prime. River, river, headlong river, down you dash into the sea. Sea that line hath never sounded, sea that sail hath never rounded, like eternity. Now I am going to give explanation stanza-wise. Listen carefully. In this poem, The River, the poet compares the flow of the river with different stages of human life. See the first stanza. River, river, little river, bright you sparkle on your way, over the yellow pebbles dancing, through the flowers and foliage glancing, like a child at play. The first stanza explains how the sparkling river goes dancing over the yellow pebbles and leaves. This act of the river is compared to a curious and innocent child at play. See the second stanza. River, river, swelling river, on you rush through rough and smooth, louder, faster, rolling, leaping, over rocks, by rose banks, sweeping like impetuous youth. The second stanza compares the river to a reckless youth who goes through and small patches of life. Like a youth, here the river becomes louder, faster, and sweeping everything, all along the way. See the third stanza. River, river, brimming river, broad and deep, and still as time, seeming still yet still in motion, tending onward to the ocean, just like mortal prime. In the third stanza, the river becomes like a hard-working man who is at the journey of life. Here, the deep and broad river seems motionless, but it keeps moving towards the sea, like a matured man who silently marches towards the goal. Fourth stanza. River, river, headlong river, down you dash into the sea. Sea that line hath never sounded, sea that sail hath never rounded, like eternity. In the last stanza, the long bright face of the river reaches the endless sea, like a human life attains eternity. Key points to remember. The poet compares the four stages of the river with human life. The four stages are little river, swelling river, brimming river, and headlong river. Little river. She compares the river to an innocent child at play. Swelling river, like a reckless youth who goes through rough and smooth patches life. Brimming river is like a hard-working man who is at the prime phase of his life. Headlong river is like a matured man who silently marches towards a goal and to a human life which ultimately attains eternity. Now, let's see Poetic Device. What is poetic device? Poems are imaginative language to express a person's feelings and ideas. There are many different devices and techniques of poetry that can be used. Alliteration, simile, metaphor, anaphora, epithet, imagery, rhyming words, and rhyming scheme. So let us discuss all this poetic device. First poetic device, alliteration. Having stressed syllables with the same sound or sound group repeating at the beginning of two or more words. See the poem line. River, river, little river, bright you sparkle on your way, over the yellow pebbles dancing, through the flowers and foliage glancing, like a child at play. See the first line. River, river, little river. River, river, same sounds. And starting letter, same letter, R, R. So it is here alliteration. The starting letter should be same. Next one, simile. A simile is when you say that something is like something else. A simile always uses the words as or like to compare two things. See the poem line. River, river, brimming river, broad and deep and still as time, seeming still yet still in motion, tending onward to the ocean, just like mortal prime. The long prime face of the river reaches the endless sea like a human life eternity. See the last poem line, just like mortal prime. See the word like. So it is your simile. Next one, imagery. Imagery means to use figurative language to represent objects, actions, and ideas in such a way that it appeals to our physical senses. See the poem line. River, river, little river, bright you sparkle on your way, over the yellow pebbles dancing, through the flowers and foliage glancing, like a child at play. See the third line. Over the yellow pebbles dancing. The river flows over the yellow pebbles, flowers and leaves. So this line refers to it is your imagery. Next one, anaphora. Repetition of a word or words at the beginning of two or more successive verses, clauses or sentence. River, river, headlong river, down you dash into the sea. See that line hath never sounded, see that sail hath never rounded, like eternity. Sea is endless. We do not know where it begins from and where it would end. Same words are repeated. Sea, third line and fourth line. So it is here anaphora. Next, epithet. A descriptive phrase linked to a name that helps to describe a particular character or thing. In this poem, river compares four different stages of human life: little river, swelling river, brimming river, headlong river. Here, little river, she compares river to an innocent child at play. Swelling river, like a reckless youth. brimming river, like a hard working man, headlong river, like a matured man. So it is your epithet. Next one, rhyming words. Rhyming words that sound the same and end the same way. See the poem line. River, river, little river, bright you sparkle on your way, over the yellow pebbles dancing, through the flowers and foliage glancing, like a child at play. See the end of the poem line. Way, come to the last line, play. See the third line, dancing. Fourth line, glancing. So way, play, dancing, glancing. So this is your rhyming words. Let's see the book back questions. A. Memorize the poem The River. B. Read the following lines and answer the questions given below. See the first question. Over the yellow pebbles dancing, through the flowers and foliage glancing. A. How does the river flow? B. What is meant by foliage? Second, river, river, swelling river, on you rush through the rough and smooth. A. Why does the poet mention the river to be swelling? B. What are the surface the river flow through? Third, over rocks by rose banks sweeping, like impetuous youth. A. Where does a rose grow? B. Which stage of man is compared here? Fourth, broad and deep and still as time, seeming still, yet still in motion. A. What is broad and deep? B. Is the time still? Fifth, tending onward to the ocean, just like mortal brine. A. Where is the river flowing to? B. What does the poet mean by mortal brine? Dear students, find out answers for all these questions, write down in your notebook and send it to your respective English teachers.